here to help you either start or expand any sustainable practices that you may have going in your operation. And you might be surprised that you're already doing one or two of them. We're going to walk you through certain sections of the New Jersey Sustainable Business Registry. We have a couple of business associates who are registered members of the Sustainable Business Registry that will also speak to you about some of the benefits that they've had in being a sustainable company. And of course, you know that you can get help from us. And the other thing to take away is, last but not least, if others can do it, you can too. So with that, I want to talk to you about who you'll be welcomed by today besides me. So on the next slide, you'll see who I am. I am the project leader or the program manager for the New Jersey Sustainable Business Sustainability Program. And I'm fortunate to be supported by my colleagues at the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. They are Athena Sarafidis and Kai Oswald. The two business associates you'll be hearing from in a bit are Stacy Schlosser and Dr. Nadra Sharmanich. Both, again, are registered sustainable businesses, and they've got a lot to talk about in terms of what they've done and what they're doing and how it benefits their companies. So the next slide basically is there to tell us that, you know, this just isn't a trend. You may have associates out there, business owners, who are thinking that sustainability might be something that goes away, but it's definitely not. The Small Business Administration, which is the SBA, has a stake in it as well. And the SBA is one of the funders of the NJSBDC. So they are very into wanting us to do our part to bring sustainability to its constituents. We believe that businesses that participate in sustainable efforts really contribute to the market share because their consumers are demanding it. Basically, as simple as that. I'm sure you probably have been in establishments where people are asking, well, what are you doing that's cleaner for the environment? What are you doing that's environmentally friendly? So we're going to cover some of those areas. On the next slide, we've got, I guess, an opportunity to talk about the fact that sustainability isn't perhaps as complicated as it might be, or you might think, but it does require a new way of thinking, a new way to approach what you've been doing, not only in terms of the environment, but in terms of your business. You may need to come up with some new approaches. You might need to, in fact, abandon some old ways that you've been doing things. And that might be the tough part. But it's sure to pay off. And we see that payoff happening in the society, in the economy, and especially in the environment. Another way to talk about that middle bullet point there, where we're saying creating economic value because it contributes to the more of a natural world, and it benefits our human communities. You've probably heard the triad, people, planet, profit. Well, that's exactly what this is about. It's about people, planet, and profit. And that profit is why we're here to help you. It's not all about expense. Hopefully, down the line, these contributions you make to being a sustainable company will be showing up in your bottom line. So not only are we talking, again, about new strategies for how you design or construct or use your buildings or manufacture your products or services, but we're talking about, you know, ways that you can optimize those processes that you currently have to perhaps conserve resources and minimize waste. So the next slide is basically listing of some of the reasons we put together why it makes sense to go green. You know, this isn't a global movement. I'm sorry, this is a global movement. is not just something localized. It's not just something that pertains to larger companies. In fact, larger corporations, the Fortune 500, are already participating in sustainable practices, and many of their investors and stakeholders are looking to their sustainability indicators just as much as they're looking to their financial indicators. These large corporations want businesses in their supply chains to be adopting and using sustainable practices. Your bottom line, it will save you money. In fact, we hope that by reducing costs through conserving energy and waste, and reducing waste on conserving water, in the end you will reduce your costs. It just makes sense. We know of many instances where electric bills have been lowered just by replacing light bulbs, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Increasing sales, the fact that you've enhanced your image, we hope, will lead to increased market share for your business. Competitive advantage. I don't know about any of you, but perhaps you've heard, or perhaps many of you as a consumer prefer businesses that have adopted some green practices in favor of a competitor that has yet to do anything. So that's kind of what we're talking about. We're talking about it's the right thing to do, not just for yourself, but also for your employees, for the community that your business operates in, for the companies that rely on you for inputs or for distributions. Being a good corporate citizen is right up there with being, I think, a successful company. And we hope that also if any of your businesses are regulated in any way, that taking a proactive approach such as this will reduce your risk in terms of regulation. It may even lower your liability insurance. It might lower your legal costs. And it will definitely improve your relationship with the government. So I think these are all pluses, and I think these are great reasons why you might want to continue to listen and learn as much as you can. And that's going to start with our next speaker, Athena. So I want to turn this over to her, and hopefully we can get Athena on here.
Hello, everybody. This is Athena Sarafidis, and I'm with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection, and we are helping the NJSBDC by providing technical assistance for this program. So Ed talked a little bit about what we're talking about today. What I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about how you could actually begin to implement sustainability measures within your own business. So in order to make that easy and possible for you, we were lucky to get a grant from the U.S. EPA Region 2 office, and that allowed us to do two things: to create a website, which I'm going to talk about, and also to allow the SBDC to start a consulting services for sustainability. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the web page. So let's move on to the next slide. On this slide, you'll note I'm giving you a little bit of instruction on some of the things that you could do to learn more. So if you visit the website, and the website is listed on every single slide that you see. So it's at the very bottom, registry.njsbdc.com. When you visit the website, the first thing I would suggest is, take a look around. You can go to the resources section. There's a lot of resources there, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But also, you may want to look at the existing list of businesses. There's about 34 businesses already on the list. You can look at each of the businesses and see the types of things that they have implemented that are considered sustainable, and that's why they're on the list. The other thing that we have there is a map of where all the businesses are located. And so if you're, for example, in the middle of the state, you look at the middle of the state and you can kind of get a sense of where the businesses are located. And this is something that we created so that when customers are looking for sustainable businesses, they may actually search on the map and try to find places that are close to where they live. So visit the website first. The second thing is go in, you create a user ID and password if you feel like you're ready and you want to apply. It's very simple. What happens after you create the ID and password is you get an email confirmation. At that point, you can go back in, and if you are ready, you can begin to fill in the online application. So there's no paper. This is all online by computer. As I said, again, the second thing that the grant allowed us to do is to hire expert consultants that are available to come out to your business, either on-site, online, or on the phone, to do an analysis of your business and give you some ideas on what you can do to start implementing sustainability practices. And this is at no cost to you. Jean Marie, if you can move on to the next slide. Just to show you that we really do have consultants. Here's a picture of our two consultants. And they come with many years of experience in this field. And they're available, as I said, and willing to come out to your business. Next slide. So again, visit the website. And these are some of the images, and hopefully this is what will happen to your profits when you begin to implement some sustainability practices. Let's move on. Oops. Go back just one slide. There you go. So this is really the meat. Oh, there we go. All right, so this is the meat of the program right here. This is what we ask for. So if you're a business and you feel like you have implemented some environmental practices and you want to share that with, the people that visit the website, what we ask is that you share information on at least 5 environmental practices in place at your facility. We also ask that you provide one measurable result related to one of those practices and also cost savings related to one of those practices. Now you may be asking yourself, why do I need to provide that information? So the reason we ask for measurable results is because oftentimes, whether you're a person or one business, you think to yourself, what difference does it make what I do? Will it really change anything in the big picture? And the bottom line is, you are one business. We are only one individual. But if all the businesses in New Jersey, for example, change one light bulb, it will make a difference. And so what happens is we add up all the impacts, positive impacts from all the businesses, and we get results that are significant. And we'll talk about that a little later. The other thing is cost savings. We know that there are examples of businesses out there that have implemented sustainability practices where they have saved money. And you are a business after all, and so we want to make the business case. And that's why we ask for cost savings. So 5 environmental practices, 1 measurable result, and 1 cost savings. If you have that information, you just go online, you fill in the application, you hit the submit button, and that comes to us. We review your application, and if everything looks okay, you get listed on our website. You can move on. I just want to now kind of give you an idea of the tips and resources that are available on the webpage. So if you go to the resources section, again, you will see a number of categories where different types of activities are listed. So, when we talk about sustainability, a lot of what we talk about are environmental practices. So whether it's under waste, you have waste reduction, waste recycling, which all businesses in New Jersey should be recycling. And we hope that all of you are. Under energy, there's opportunities for energy efficiency or renewable energy. Transportation, how do your employees commute to your business? How do you commute to your business? If you have a fleet, how are those, what types of vehicles do you have? Water conservation, stormwater management, green design. Some of you may actually be working in green buildings or have aspects to your building that are green. And then management and leadership. This is how you manage your business. So do you have an environmental policy statement? Do you have a green team? And you could be a green team of one. Do you have environmental goals that you have set up for your business? So these are some of the things under the environmental category that you could think about if you haven't already and implement. Next slide, please. So in some cases, you may be a very particular type of business. So we have a section called industry specific. And there you'll see things like dry cleaners and restaurants and auto repair. You would hit on that link and you would see some things that are in particular associated with the type of business that you have. And there you would share that information. We also have certification programs. There are lots of certification programs already out there. We didn't want to duplicate any of them. So if you are participating in any of them, please let us know. If yours is not listed, then there's an other section. You can just include that there and tell us what we missed. And then you'll see one, emergency preparedness. After Hurricane Sandy, we really had no, this was a no-brainer. We had to include something like that. Because really, sustainability is about having best management practices in place. And then finally, there's a community aspect to this program. And this is what makes it a sustainability program. It's about how you, as a business, interrelate with your community, the community you're in, how you treat your employees, the kind of benefits that you offer them. These are all sustainability practices. So hopefully this gives you some ideas. I'm going to now pass along the presentation to my colleague, Kai Astral, and he's going to talk about why you should participate in this program.
Thank you, Athena. I wanted to let you guys know that, companies that are eligible to join the Sustainable Business Registry really have accomplished something special. They've embraced the ideals that improve their community and the environment. They can positively identify their accomplishments, measure improvements, and quantify financial savings. However, the full impact of their efforts cannot be realized until they promote themselves as responsible business leaders. That's why we encourage those businesses that have made efforts in implementing sustainable practices to get the Sustainable Business Registry seal. So the seal is a symbol to let others know that your company is consciously making strides towards environmental stewardship and strong community relationships. The seal is a positive icon that you can use to separate your company from the competition so that you can increase your market share for being a good neighbor. The seal is not the only benefit of being a registered member. Let's take a look at some of the other benefits of membership. Next slide, please. First of all, there's free marketing. We provide each registered business with a press release that you can customize for your media market. The website itself is a marketing tool. The website will list your company on the Sustainable Business List, grouped by business category. So if someone's looking for an architect or a dry cleaner who provides environmentally responsible services, they can find them quickly. The website also has a feature that allows customers to find sustainable businesses by location, simply by looking at a map that's interactive, displaying all of our registered businesses. Now, we also provide free information. The New Jersey Small Business Development Center is committed to educating small businesses on sustainability. So they're providing webinars to the members of our registry. These will have topics that help businesses become more competitive by helping them conserve environmental resources, become more efficient, and find those resources that help a business become more profitable. Now, as far as technical assistance goes, our consultants are our primary tool that we use to provide this technical assistance. Now, the registry provides its members with access to these consultants that just don't only do environmental good, they also help businesses in their typical business operations. Members also receive invitations to important sustainable meetings, like the Sustainable Business Initiative meetings, so that they can learn more about sustainability from like-minded businesses who are pursuing a better future. Recognition is a very important part of the registry. Only registered members will receive our logo and seal. These images can be used on letterhead, emails, presentations. Any way that you can promote your company, please feel free to do so. That logo and seal is for you to maximize the visibility of your business as a sustainable business. And I also want you to know that annually the New Jersey Small Business Development Centers hosts a gala where they give awards to small businesses. And this year will be the first Sustainable Business Award being given out by the Small Business Development Centers. And we're looking forward to many years of presenting this award to an eligible business. Now, differentiation. Well, we all want to be rewarded for doing good things, whether you're doing something good for the community or the environment. So getting that message out to your customers and to other businesses is one of the best benefits of joining the Sustainable Business Registry. Understand this, however, this is not all fluff. Companies that join the registry are making major contributions to preserving the environment and to their communities. Let's take a look at some of our registered members' results. Next slide, please. We skipped a little bit. Well, on this slide, there's something, yeah, I guess we can view it that way. I don't know why it's not viewing in the normal view. But what I really want to draw your attention to here is what can happen when we have lots of people who are putting their information into the registry so that they can see the cumulative effects of what good they're doing environmentally. So two things I want to try to point out to you here. One is the environmental benefits that are being achieved by these businesses that are on the registry. And mind you, there's only 34 of them registered right now. But you can see that we've already identified $1 million in savings. That's split among 34 facilities. And about 3 million kilowatts of electricity that have been saved by these folks who have implemented sustainable actions in their facilities. So the cumulative results really do matter. So going back to what Athena said, my one thing I do matter, it absolutely does. And so in order to participate and become a registered business, you will be identifying a couple of measurable results. You'll be sharing that information with the community of folks that are interested in this kind of responsible governance. So, and two, you will also recognize that there's going to be a financial achievements that are very, very positive. Now, to share the actual folks that have done this and have implemented it, we're going to listen to the next two speakers. So I'd like to now introduce Stacy from Glassworks in Morristown, who is one of our registered members. Stacy?
All right, Stacy, you should be on at this point. Can you hear us? Stacy.
Can you hear me now?
Ah, hi. Okay. I'm going to change the slides up.
Okay. So hi, this is Stacy Schlosser. I'm the owner of Glassworks Studio. Glassworks is going to be 13 years old tomorrow, and we started an actual industry of glass fusing studios. We are the one and only. We did not franchise it. It's just a mom shop, not a mom and pop, but just a mom shop. And I opened the business to sustain not my family's livelihood, but my mental state. I had been an at-home mom for 11 years, and opening my own business gave me a chance to sustain my mental capacity. It was time to go back to work, and creating an industry that combined my teaching experience, retail experience, seemed like the right thing to do. Next slide. So Glassworks is a make-your-own fused glass studio, and when I got the sustainability bug, I tried to do everything I could to make our business incorporate as many sustainable practices as possible. So the first thing that we did was we switched to 100% green energy. That's the only thing that's cost us money as opposed to saved us money, but I believe wholeheartedly is the right thing to do. And I'm currently in discussion with my landlord, since I don't own my space, to put solar panels on the roof, which would really be a big bonus and a huge savings to the business, depending on how we negotiate the deal. The second thing we did, as you can see in the top right corner of the slide, is we installed waste stations to help our customers and employees sort properly at the time of throwing things away, so that we could get things to the recycling center with more accurate sorting and less waste. And in the bottom left-hand corner, you can see that we have a rewards program. I'm going to tell you more about that in a future slide. And if you want to go on to the next slide. One of the things that we do primarily to reduce the waste of our product is we give people reward points if they use the glass that's in the upper right-hand corner. That's all leftovers from other people's projects, versus the glass that's in the bottom left-hand corner. That's all fresh, brand new product. And so if they use the top right to make the piece that's in the middle, which is a beautiful fall foliage scene, then they're making a brand new piece. It's something that lasts a lifetime. When and if something happens to it, it's going to be upcycled, but they're not wasting any new materials. They're using everything that has already been put to use, and so they get reward points for that. The bottom slide, at the bottom right-hand corner, is BYO bag. So if you bring your own bag, you get points for that. Every time that we don't have to buy bags and store them and ship them and have people throw them into the waste when they're done with them, then we've reduced our carbon footprint and those of the customers that we share our business with. Next slide. So I think that even on a tiny little scale, I mean, if Paris is the global version of what we should do, then being a tiny little business owner in a small, less than family-owned business, it still equals, sustainability still equals increased revenue and decreased expenses. So like I said, with the exception of the renewable energy, which does cost a little more, everything else I've done has saved my company money. And that's always a good thing. Next slide. I've already mentioned the waste stations, and I do take my own recycling to the recycling center in town as opposed to paying a fee. That saves me money. I had an electrician come in, and he rewired our electricity and reprogrammed so that they fire more efficiently, and that's reduced our kilowatt usage and the amount of time that it takes, which is both a good thing. And when you talk about what we can do to reduce our carbon footprint globally, locally, and individually, efficiency is one of the biggest things, because not everybody's going to have the ability to put on solar power, but if you can increase your efficiency, that's really important. Instead of purchasing goodie bag items, we upcycle our broken, old, or unsuccessful or leftover customer glass, and we upcycle them into glass stones that the children collect, much like when you've taken your kids to the Science Museum and you get the little minerals in the pouch. That was where the idea came from, and that has saved us at least $8,000 a year, and that's just the initial savings, not to mention the lack of transportation, packaging, the packaging that the kids throw away when they get home, the items get thrown away or put away in a drawer, and these leftover stones that they get, they can bring back to the studio and put them into a project. So it's good for business in that it saves us money, the kids are excited about it, and it increases our business because it encourages them to come back. Next is one of my things that got me onto the registry is I happen to have been lucky enough to move to town so that I walk to work. I occasionally drive if I have too many things to carry and I can't manage, but I do have a little wagon, so it has to be more than fits in my wagon in order to get me to drive there. And I'm also sensitive, although I do have employees that work far away, we did increase people's shifts and reduce the number of people, so there will be less miles driven. And in certain cases, if employees live too far away or applicants live too far away, I just denied them employment because I didn't want to choose somebody who had to travel 40 miles round trip when I could choose somebody who could travel 5 miles round trip. And lastly, in order to engage our customers with this whole idea of sustainability, we changed our reward system. So most reward programs are based on dollars spent, and that was our initial one, which I thought was unjust because people who had a lot of money to spend already could spend money and they didn't need the reward. So our second rendition of our reward program was based on frequency, so we rewarded people for loyalty, and that was good. But then I changed it to be about sustainability. So you get reward points when you do things that are sustainable, like bring your own bag of pickup, when you use the scrap glass instead of the fresh glass, when you share on social media and help us grow our business and reduce our expenses. That's sustainable for us. We, the waste stations, every time it says, where's the garbage, it gives us a chance to explain about the recycling and making the best choice possible of where you're going to put that piece of waste. And so by having the sustainable rewards program, it allows me to interact with people, maybe 10,000 people a year, and get that little seed planted in their mind that it's possible to make decisions with a framework of sustainability as opposed to always about dollars. Next slide. And, I think Kai said it and Athena said it, and everybody's going to tell you that every little bit counts. And I liken it to this, like somehow at the end of the month when the credit card bill comes, it's always like this really big number. But I didn't spend any big things. I didn't buy anything big. It was just a little this and a little this and a little that, and it added up. And I think that it's the same way we need to look at sustainability practices, that every little thing will add up, except the outcome, when it adds up, is favorable. It's favorable instead of negative. And as part of our nonprofit group in town, from Sustainable Morristown, we started a program to help us teach this message to other area businesses and get them registered and on board as well. And to that end, Morristown does, or did, have the most businesses on the registry because we were out there kind of plugging it and pushing it so that we could have our community incorporating as many sustainable practices as possible instead of just ourselves. Next slide. So I talked about what I did for my customers, and just the fact that Glassworks is an actual lifelong product. It's glass. It will last forever. It's not a piece of art that the kids bring home from school that even if it's made from recycled products, eventually you're throwing it away or recycling it. We encourage our customers that, if you tire of a project, if a project breaks, if you just don't want it anymore, bring it back, and we'll give you credit towards a new project, or we'll at least upcycle that glass again. So we feel good about that. I just think that there's a lot of art projects out there that, although the creativity and the experience are really worthwhile, unfortunately the art itself becomes another item that eventually goes into the waste pile. And I hope that we get the message out clearly to our customers that you never have to do that with the glass. Next slide. So the last people part of ours, because there's my thoughts and there's my sharing it with my employees, but then my customers, but then there's also sharing it with my employees, because I believe that any business, and my business especially, is only as good as my employees. So I pay them as well as I possibly can. I don't know that it's living wages per se, but it's living wages for them and their current situations. And we've provided different opportunities now for them to earn additional wages, to teach classes, to sell product. We're now in 2 retail outlets in Etsy selling their work, and they get paid for that. And we have opportunities to do programming outside of our studio that people get to do and earn additional money that way. And just letting them know that they're appreciated and that their work matters, I think goes a long way to helping them grow in their skills and in their confidence. And eventually they might go on to other things, but they will have helped my business grow too, because our business is very, very, very heavily customer engagement. Everybody's getting instruction and everybody's getting assistance, and the product that the customer makes is only going to be as good as the instruction and assistance that they get from my staff. So having a staff that's well trained and feel strongly about what they do is really important to my business. Next slide. So our largest money saving initiative, like I said, over $8,000 a year, was the goodie bags. It reduces waste, it reduces expenses, it increases excitement, and maximizes the kiln use, because those little nuggets can fill in empty kiln space that maybe we wouldn't otherwise have filled in with projects. And we're proud that something that makes the kids so happy also makes the business more profitable. And that's the goal for every sustainable practice that we incorporate, is everybody wins. The kids are happy, the business is happy, and the environment's happy. That's our goal overall. Next slide. So these are just a couple of takeaways, in my opinion. Everything you throw away is just being put somewhere else. There is no away. That was a takeaway that I took from Jamie Cloud at the Cloud Institute for Sustainability. Sustainability should be a framework that all decisions pass through. It definitely takes more time. It was overwhelmingly oppressive when I was moving and trying to figure out a use, a purpose, a resell for every single item that I wasn't going to take in my downsized residence. But it totally was worth it, because we didn't waste anything. We didn't throw anything away. We didn't get one of those giant dumpsters and just start dumping stuff in it. And I felt much better about that. And if you're not sustainable, your business is going to fail. It has to sustain itself in order to exist. But if you include sustainable practices, your business will thrive and flourish. And ultimately, as a business person, that's what you really want. And sustainability encompasses all areas of your business, not just the environmental. So if you recycle, that's not good enough. It's also about your product and your supply chain and how you treat your customers and how you treat your employees. And that's what, when you get the whole picture going and everything is working as a win-win-win, that's when your business will be its best. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Our next guest. Can you hear us? Can you speak to through your phone, Nadare?
Good afternoon. Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, I'm going to put myself on mute and let you take it away.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for the opportunity. My name is Nadire Afsharmanish. I am Vice President of Sustainability and Education at Earth Friendly Products. A little bit about the company. Earth Friendly Products is a privately owned company since 1960s. The business started off in Illinois from a little garage, and now we have 5 manufacturings across the U.S. We manufacture over 150 naturally based cleaning products. We export to 62 countries, and that's how we can talk about our business. Okay, can we go to the next slide, please? Basically, the products are environmentally friendly, inspired by the nature, using ingredients that are safe for the environment, in coconut oil, lavender oil, water, and the products that are pH neutral, and all the goodness that we could possibly include to our products. But the point that I'm here to make is not only the finished product that are eco-friendly, but also the way we make it. Can we go to the next slide, please? Our manufacturings are zero waste platinum level certified manufacturing. We announced our carbon neutrality in 2013, and we were able to save over 53 million pounds of carbon dioxide from the environment. So we have achieved quite a bit, and I'm happy here to share some of our challenges and experiences. Next slide, please. This is one of the slides that I used back in 2010 when we started our sustainability program. We aimed for about 80% reduction in our waste and emissions, but as I said, we were able to announce our carbon neutrality in 2013, and all facilities are zero waste certified. Next slide, please. So sustainability was important, but we had to make it a bit more systematic in our process, and make sure that sustainability is integrated in the DNA of the business. So no matter what we do, from procurement to manufacturing practices to office practices, everything and anything every day, sustainability is our first priority. Next slide, please. We started with adding the 4th R. I mean, people are usually familiar with reduce, reuse, recycle, but we wanted to go a little bit further. So we added rethink. Basically means that you think about your actions before it causes a problem. Recycling is very popular, fantastic. We are very happy that people do recycle. However, we believe that recycling is not the best option, is the last option. So yes, we try our best to minimize our environmental impact from the get-go. Next slide, please. I basically categorize our actions in 3 groups. Implementing and installing solar panels. Our 5 facilities have in-house solar panels, and whatever that about 70% of our needs are supplied, but whatever we can't generate we offset it. Different equipment that we have installed all are eco-friendly and energy efficient. The next category is reducing waste. We had to implement a number of practices. For example, we eliminate using any type of styrofoam containers in the facility. So anyone brings lunchbox or lunch containers or anything that is a styrofoam, they have to take it to their car or they are written off. Even yesterday I was asking even the food truck that stops here need to know that we do not use any styrofoam containers. So they are, if they want to have a business with us and stop at our facility, they should not offer any styrofoam plates or containers to our employees. The next category is improving the health and wellness of our employees. We have started off educating our employees about sustainable lifestyle, and we encourage them to have a sustainable lifestyle, which is a healthy lifestyle. Small changes in their eating habits, a little bit more exercise, walking to work, just very basics. And we noticed that the very first year we had 3% reduction in our insurance premium. The following year was 7%, and slowly, last year we noticed about 18% reduction of our insurance premium, and the money goes back to the employees. We were able to distribute brand new juicers to all employees. We were able to increase their maternity leave. I mean, they could see that if they make the effort, threefold come back to them, and it's all offered to all employees. Next slide, please. As I said, it's small changes. I mean, we don't expect people go, full on saving the environment overnight or anything, but small changes, and also very important to communicate, very important to share all the success to them, and make sure that they convey the message to their family and to their community as well. Next slide, please. We work with EPA. About 57 of our products are Safer Choice certified. We also, help all other organizations to be more environmentally friendly, encouraging encouraging the consumers to read the labels. It goes hand in hand, and you have to look at it from all angles. The small changes, as I said, if you want to buy something in the office or your household, do I really want it or do I need it? Am I okay to share a printer with other colleagues, or I really need a individual printer in my office? And that's the changes that we can see. Next slide, please. This is some data from our corporate office. Since we started implementing our sustainability programs, we had 41% increase in the number of employees, but we noticed about 29% reduction in PTO. It's a huge difference, and the money comes back to the business and improving their well-being and incentives that we were able to offer to our employees. Next slide, please. This is the money maker. This is the one that no one were able to see at the beginning. And by selling our basically waste that used to end up in the landfill, we were able to pay off our brand new baler within 11 months. So the rest was pure ROI. We were able to have about nearly $200,000 by selling our waste. I mean, these are the materials that used to end up in landfill. This is a huge difference since 2010. Next slide, please. So it's not only the recycling, but also reducing the cost of disposal, we were able to save money by not wasting so much. So since, and the base year is 2009. 2009 was the year that we didn't have that kind of a extensive recycling program. So you can see that since 2000, comparing to 2009, we were able to save over $100,000 by reducing the cost of our trash disposal. Next slide, please. Well, this is not too clear, but this is a memo that I sent back in 2013 sharing some of the success stories to our employees. It's very important for them to know that any action that they take, it does make a difference. And the little image on the top, which you can see it more clearly in the next slide. Next slide, please. This is our California division. In 2009, we had 4 industrial trash bins collected 5 days a week. So it was 20 trash bins a week just in California division. Now we are down to 1 trash bin per week. That's even too much. I honestly think that they can do way better than this. But still, from 20 down to 1, you can see that it's nothing less than, I would say it's nothing less than a miracle. Next slide, please. Oh, before I finish, I just wanted to say that the money that we were able to save, we are giving back to the employees, and we support them to all the good actions that they are taking. So we give incentive like purchasing brand new, eco-friendly cars. We give them $2,000. If they relocate closer to the facilities within 10 miles, we give them a relocation incentive. Installing solar panels, everything that they do and they make the effort, we are just there to show that we are giving them support, and we work hand in hand to help the environment. That's it from me. Thank you.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing such pertinent information. Ed, you have been unmuted.
Oh, great. Yes, thank you, Jean Marie. I also, on behalf of Athena and Kai, want to thank you for facilitating this with us, for us. And I also want to thank Stacy and Nadra for their excellent presentations. That's where the rubber meets the road, so to speak, even though we'd like to upcycle that rubber one of these days. But in case you're all wondering how to get your wheels in motion, there's an email address up there next to my information, njsbinfo@njsbdc.com. That will come to me, and we will make sure that you are either put in touch with the help you need for completing the registry, or getting your application started on the registry, or getting a consultant out to you to help you take a look at your facility and what steps you might take to become sustainable. I don't know if we have any time for questions. That's up to Jean Marie, and if there are any, in fact. So. But again, I need to thank all of you. I understand there's a great deal of people who are participating in this webinar, and we are just floored by your attendance. And I want to thank you for taking the hour, and hopefully you've learned something from us, and hopefully we'll learn something from you when we get to meet you. Thank you.
So Ed, we do have a minute or two for a question or so. If someone wants to pose a question in the question box, please do so. We do have a few questions in there now, and I've been filtering through these. It seems like everybody got their video and audio adjusted, so that's okay. Here's the question. Is there merit to solar panels, and how does one go about vetting and setting up one?
Hi, this is Kai Ostral. Yes, definitely solar panels is a very good tool to be using. New Jersey still has a robust SREC program that can be used. SRECs are solar renewable energy credits. That comes in the form of cash for every megawatt of electricity being produced by your solar panels. So that helps in reducing the overall cost of having them. There's still incentives available and tax credits available for those people that want to use solar power. So, and these days, solar panel prices have come down in addition to their efficiency going up. So a solar panel, even if you might have investigated putting solar on your roof, let's say 6 years ago, that number, you'll spend less on those solar panels and get more out of them. So it's definitely something that it is a good investment. If anybody's particularly interested in those kinds of things, if you go to the registry, you can look at the renewable energy section and see the programs that are available to help in that regard. And there's some specific programs that help even more with incentives if you're looking in areas that have any kind of farming or ruralness associated with them. So not in our urban areas, but definitely in our rural areas, there's a special program that comes from the federal government that will even give a lot more money in grants for putting up solar.
Thanks, Kai. And if anyone else has any additional questions or you're looking to vet some more information on solar, I'm sure Kai, Athena, or Ed can help you a little bit more deeply by contacting them through the email that's posted on the screen, njsbinfo@njsbdc.com. This does conclude our program for today. I appreciate everyone's help, and I hope you have a good rest of the day. Thank you.